So what would happen if you took 30 euros and you put it into AliExpress? Well, you would get this. This, a 4.3-inch digital microscope. So you probably want to know, is this any good and who is this for? Well, don't worry, you will find out soon. But first, let's take it out of the box. So let's take this thing out of the box. On this side of the box, you can see the specifications, and when we flip it, we even get this handy little installation guide. Now we can grab our box opener to slice open the tape in the front. And the lid, please. Thank you. Okay, now we have the manual on top. Please don't lose it, it's very important. There are some packing plastics and of course the microscope itself. When we take it out of the bag, it looks like a microscope with a screen. Then we have the leg and the base, which we can snap and screw together. Next in the box we find the USB cable and two side lights or arm lights or whatever you want to call these. Finally we got the calibration ruler that we will use to, well, calibrate the microscope. More on that later. Now we can attach the microscope to the base with these two thumb screws, loosen them, slide in the microscope and tighten. You probably could have figured that one out without the manual. Then comes the hard part, the side lights. You need to be very careful. They're USB-C, so you can just plug them in. So that's it. Now we just plug in the USB-C in the back and it starts charging. So if we quickly take a look into the menu of this, we have settings for image resolution, and I have it set as the best one, so the pictures I take with this are going to be the best quality possible. Then you have different languages, but of course I'm gonna use English. You have settings for time, you have screensaver functionality, you have a flickering reduction, you have automatic shut off, formatting of the SD card, system reset, and version checking. And that's basically it. Then this button is the menu button, up and down. When you are in this mode, control this digital zoom of the microscope. This is just an OK button, which also has something to do with the SD card, but since I don't have an SD card plugged in, like you can see right here, I cannot really use it. Then you have this button, which works as the lighting control, as well as the on-off button. And in the back here we have a reset button, SD card slot, and the USB port. And that's basically it. for the microscope. But all in all, this is a really easy and intuitive microscope to use. But let's go back to testing it a little bit further. So now that we figured out how to actually use this, let's connect this to the computer before we do anything else, then have a little bit closer look into the microscope. So all we need is a USB cable and an extension, and then we can just connect this cable back here and this end to the computer. So now that this is connected, we can turn it on, and it should give us the option to select PC camera. This means we cannot see the screen here, but we should see it on the computer. But before we can do that, we do need to have the software to be able to view the camera on the computer. And the software they recommend using is HiView, and I have it here downloaded. I can open it up, and now you can see that we have the microscope. Here's my hand underneath the microscope, and with this software we can either take photos, take videos, save files, or adjust the settings. We can apply some filters if we want to, or we can draw on the screen. But first things first, let's calibrate this so that we can have a grid on the screen that corresponds to the actual measurements of the microscope. So how to do that is we click on the calibration, and then we have to go back to the microscope, and then we take this calibration slide, put it underneath here. And what I noticed is you can use a piece of paper underneath so you can see the black text a little bit easier. We can, for example, use this ruler here. And now if we want to use this distance that we have, we can just focus on this, maybe adjust the lights a little. Now if we have this point right here, we should have 5 millimeters visible. We go here, 5 millimeters, and then adjust this length to match this. Now if we look here, we can see the scale, and 0.5 millimeter is about the same on both of these. The scale on the microscope as well as the scale on the calibration slide. So that should be fine. What we can also do is start the video recording on the microscope so you can see whatever I'm doing. But first of all, let's do something that you are probably the most interested in. Let's check if this is truly 1600 times zoom. For that, we need some kind of measurement tool. What we want to do is at this height, we can check the magnification, how large is the image on the screen and how large it is in real life. So let's turn towards the screen again. If we look here, this distance should be about 1 millimeter. This is 45. That means we have a magnification of about 45 times. Okay, this is about the closest we can get with the microscope. So let's measure again and see what is the zoom this time. And now if we measure this gap, it's about 150 millimeters. And since this gap is 0.5 millimeter, the zoom should be about 300 times. This is quite far from the claimed 1600x, but for my use at least, I don't really need 1600x, and 300 times is probably even more than enough. I'm not going to be working with components that are smaller than 0.5 millimeter. Now, if we have this microscope all the way up, we should have minimum amount of zoom, and if we go back to the computer screen and we measure this 5mm gap, this should be about 140mm, meaning at the lowest setting we should have a magnification of about 20 times. Of course, this can also depend on the screen that you're using and how this software handles the screen, because I did try this same thing with the included screen and my results were about 10 times to 200 times max. But anyways, this means we can expect a zoom of about 10 to 300x instead of the claimed 1600x. But this should be fine, since most of the time you're not going to be needing 1600x for home lab use, for electronics or whatever DIY stuff you are doing. So the next thing I do want to showcase is the usable area of this microscope. So probably what you're going to be doing with this microscope is checking your solders on your boards or helping with your soldering or reading of component names. As you can see here, if you put your soldering iron here, you do have plenty of space to move around without touching the lights or the objective. So you should be able to use this for soldering as well while you are viewing through your microscope. If we go a little bit more scientific, we can also measure this distance. So if we measure from the bottom of this to about where this object ends, it's about 90mm. And if we go back to the lowest position, you wouldn't go much below about 20mm, which actually I did check. The lowest you can focus is about 15mm. So if you want to get really close, it's 15mm up to 290mm away from what you are trying to view. Now, if we have this back up here and we are trying to read this text on the chip, we can play around with the lights a little to make the text a little bit easier to read. Of course, there is some glare, as you can see, because the solder mask and solder itself and the component legs and every single metal part here is going to reflect some light. So what you do need to do is adjust and play with the lights and see with which configuration you can see the text the best. Fortunately, the lights are really easy to adjust. You can click once and have only these arm lights on, which means you can also adjust where the light is pointing, or you can have all of them on at the same time, or some combination of all of these. This should make reading of the components quite a lot easier. Another thing that you might be doing with this is checking the solder joints and checking the legs of the IC for shorts and just overall inspection of your boards. And it is quite close, but you can definitely tell if there are bad joints or non-soldered components on the board, which is, at least for my use, perfect. One thing you do need to get used to is sometimes when you're looking at any kind of digital microscope, the image on the microscope can seem quite two-dimensional. I don't have any fixes for that right now, but if you know any that help with that, please let me know. But my fix is to kind of turn the board if I need to see, for example, underneath or the side profile of a component. So as you can see, if you are using the microscope for reading off these component labels or helping you with soldering these tiny components, or you're just using a microscope for inspecting the boards, this is a really useful tool to have. And for 28 euros, at least I'm not mad about what this little thing offers. But now, if we go back to the beginning, who should buy this? If you work with small components every single day and you have the budget, then maybe spend that extra 10 to 50 times the budget for a proper microscope. But for a home lab, where you occasionally need to check one or two component names, or just check if your solder joint is good or just ugly, then this is great. And I promise you, you won't regret spending the 28 euros on this. The resolution of this is fine. The workable area allows you to work underneath the microscope while you're viewing through it, and it's very easy to use independently. And if you want to connect it to your computer, you just need to use one single USB cable. And because this has an internal battery, you can also take it on the go and work on your small things, even if you don't have any wired power available. Of course, it does have some glare, like basically any other digital microscope. But the good news is that you can adjust the lighting on this very easily. And of course, you can turn on and off the lamps, which helps with the glare. If you want to go a step further, maybe a polarization filter could help with this issue. So what do you think? Are you going to go shopping on AliExpress, or are you going to skip this one? Please let me know. But anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.